Welcome to Christian Painters live stream on YouTube, Facebook, and hello, everybody. My name is Rick E. Warden. We want to welcome you to the Christian Painters community. I very much appreciate you being here. If you want to help me go the extra mile, like and share this video now so that we can get it out to your friends. We've got a special video today. I've got Gary Blankenship here. He's going to be priming and painting his brick fireplace mantle as a project with his lovely wife. And we're here today to talk about the primer and the paint and the products that he has to do that. But first, talking about that extra mile, please, if you want to help this YouTube channel grow, the best way to do that is to subscribe. So don't forget to subscribe to the Christian Painters YouTube channel. We very, very much appreciate that. All right, and then here's the primer right here. Everybody, if you want to know what primer we're talking about, it's called Locks-On Primer, available at Sherwin-Williams. So we'll be talking about that. And then also the paint products and the process. Hello, Gary. Thank you very much for joining us today, brother. I really appreciate you.
Absolutely. Hello, Rick. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm even better now knowing that I'm, talking to you and that you're going to have a good time with your wife and family today.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have this. Gonna be a fun project.
Are you starting it today?
No.
Okay, just checking. Well, do me a favor and send me some pictures so that we can update the audience. And if you make a video, even, make a video when you're done, and we'll share that over here on one of my future podcasts.
Okay, will do.
All right. So basically, if anybody, I'm here for two reasons. Normally, I present colors and things. Earlier today, we presented the Pantone color of the year, Peach Fuzz. My latest video on colors was Bear's Cracked Pepper. So I do those things, one, because it's fun and interesting and helpful, but also it's my way of making myself available to you if you need a free estimate for painting your house, if you need color consultation, or if you need questions, if you have questions about your painting that you need answered. So Gary is my family. We go back a little ways. Man, I've had so much fun with you, Gary. I cherish the times we've had together.
We've been through it, haven't we?
Yeah. And I'm so proud of you, man. I'm always happy. Like, life is full of ups and downs. And one of my ups is when I have thoughts of you and your family. I'm so proud of you, brother.
Thank you.
All right. So that's it. Just making myself available for you. And so Gary contacted me yesterday, telling me he's going to prime and paint his fireplace mantle. And so we talked about all of this yesterday, but I asked him if he would be kind enough to come on and share with you all, our audience. So that's what we're going to do. You want to go ahead and show us your fireplace mantle, Gary?
Absolutely. So first I want to start off with thanking you, Ricky, for, taking the time out and helping us who are not very skilled in this kind of project. So my wife and I, we were looking on Google and trying to figure out what was going to be the best products for this and that. After going to Home Depot, not going to Home Depot, but going to their page, we were lost in the sauce. There's so many different products out there. You just don't know what to go with. So it dawned on me, hey, my uncle's a professional painter. Let me contact him and see if he's got time to give us some inside information here. And what you did, and you responded so quick, and you made it so easy, and just took so much stress off of us by helping us control what primer and what paint that that's going to go with our needs. Without you, we'd still be Googling. So thanks again.
You're welcome. It's my honor. People only paint in their home 2 or 3 times in their entire lifetime. And I've been painting basically all of my life. So I'm thrilled every time I get to share my experience. So thank you.
Absolutely. Well, this is the fireplace. As you can see, it starts from the ground and goes all the way up.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's a decent size. We're
Yeah,
tired
that's
of the red
nice.
brick
Floor to ceiling. That looks really good already. So it's gonna really look nice painted.
all the way up around the sides. And a couple things we're going to be doing is I'm going to be taking and covering this with a false beam. So I'm going to be building, or I might buy, but I'm probably going to just build it myself. A mantle that covers these 3-step brick here, just because that's not a whole lot of room to hang really anything. You won't even hang a tissue box fully. So
Yeah.
depth isn't enough. But we wanted to paint our fireplace before we did that. And
well, building a mantle to cover, that's the easy part. Getting it to be secure is the challenge.
yes, well aware of that. Definitely up to the challenge. As you
If
know,
anybody has any ideas and you want to hop in the chats and give us some advice on the best way to secure a wood mantle over a brick fireplace, man, we'd appreciate it. I think it's just an anchor, a bolt with an anchor. If you can get that anchor in there, you're good. The challenge is that brick is susceptible to chipping and breaking.
Yes. And if that happens, then, it'll be what it be. And I end up just knocking this completely down and voila, start over.
Knock it down. Hey, you can always make a case to rebuild a home, so be careful.
Yeah, I want to do that. So that's the first set of project, Rick. And then we're going to be painting and getting rid of all this texture on our walls. We have this ugly texture that's on our walls, and my wife, she no likey. So we're going to be doing that to our whole house.
What kind of texture is it? I couldn't really see it. What do you mean an ugly texture on a wall?
The wall, it's texture.
Okay. Yeah.
All the way throughout. And
yeah,
this is an older style home, so most of this house we're guessing is covered with wallpaper. And instead of taking the wallpaper off, they textured it and then painted it over it.
That's common for sure. So do you have issues where the wallpaper is actually coming loose behind the texture?
Yes.
Yeah. That's a real issue.
Definitely. So like right here in the kitchen, I don't know if you can see that or not.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, wallpaper is common in a kitchen area. It's not common in a living room or bedroom. So you might want to check behind the walls in the living room and bedroom. The reason I'm saying that is because one of the worst things that you can do in the house painting world is to texture over wallpaper incorrectly, because wallpaper is a pain to get off just in itself. Of course, being a professional, I can help you make that a lot easier and save you some of the pitfalls, some of the traps, some of the marketing consumer traps. But
we will definitely be getting back with you when we're ready for that next project.
Well, I'm talking about just removing the wallpaper. But once you put texture over it and paint it, oh man, it's like you could almost make a case to just replace the freaking sheetrock at that point. Yeah, that's what you're in for. It's that tough. It's difficult. It ain't gonna be easy.
Hopefully I can get it sanded down enough to where we can get it under control. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me ask you this. Do you think it's a satin finish on the walls, or is it a flat?
It's definitely a flat.
Well, you're in luck. Now, that's kind of hard to press to say that you're in luck, because to tell you that you're going to be sanding for hours and hours and hours and days isn't all that lucky. But if you have a latex paint, all that paint's just going to kind of gum up before you get to the texture.
Okay.
So you don't, in that case, you're going to be sanding gummy latex paint for days and then texture for days. And I'm telling you, it's just a lot of hard work. I hate breaking that news to you, but
it is what it is. My wife and I, we're kind of prepared to, when we start, doing our walls, to find out that, behind the paint is bad sheetrock. So we're already expecting to replace sheetrock in certain areas of our house, for sure.
Okay, well, if you're determined, my next thought that I have to share with you about it is that you might be better off just floating the walls smooth. I under the circumstances with paper there, I would remove anything that's loose. You got to kind of feel of every inch of the wall. If you find anything loose, it's got to come off. Cut it out with a razor blade. We can talk about that more in the future, but just giving you an idea, a brief overview. And then take mud and float the walls out and let it dry for a couple of days. And then sand it down, float the walls again until you're happy with if you're after smooth walls. That would take less time, still a lot of time, still very labor intensive, but it would take less time than trying to remove it back down to the sheetrock if there's wallpaper underneath it.
Okay. I will, I'll keep that in mind. Definitely will. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, man. I'm just happy to share my information, and we'll be happy to walk you through it when you get to that point.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's always good to have a helping hand, especially one with, professional experience such as yourself. Painting is one of the things that I'm not very, reversed in. Woodworking and stuff like that, I got you.
Yep.
Painting and texturing and mudding and stuff like that, not a whole lot of experience in the carpenter world when it comes to that.
I appreciate that because it is a profession. It's a trade. It's a real trade. And people don't think of it that way. Most people think of painting as, oh, it's something I can do until you do it. And once you do painting, whether it's just painting one room or doing a difficult thing like your fireplace mantle or removing texture, that's when you realize, oh, this takes a lot of time. You start doing the math and going, it is a trade. It is a profession. But
absolutely,
like it or not, it takes all of that for people to arrive at that point in most cases. That's why I'm very thankful to my customers, man, because my customers are not my average friends. The people that can afford a professional house painter, whether it's me or Southern Painters or CW Ray or any of the other professionals, our customers are people that live in, $300,000 to $500,000 homes, average,
Yeah.
And they used to have money back when we had the natural gas money coming in, and all the war was going on with all the local military contracts, and then also just credit, people having credit, but those times have passed. And just to kind of put it into perspective, if you look at the background, this is one of my faux finishes in the background here. I put these kind of faux finishes on the walls along with colors like reds and greens and purples and blues. And Mansfield, for example, I'm not going to bore everybody and you, but Mansfield in particular, like the Walnut Creek Estates where the country club golf course is, I painted close to half of those homes over the years, and with nice faux finishes and nice color schemes and everything. And those days are just gone. Most of the houses that we paint today, we're painting variations of grays on the walls. And if we're lucky, we get a colorful accent wall.
My wife and I actually picked out color schemes for the wall and the trim. We got some samples, some pill and sticks from Sherman and Williams while we were picking up the primer and the paint. And we're going to be going with the peppercorn for the trim.
Mm-hmm.
And then
wait, stop down for the trim. You're putting peppercorn on the trim?
Yes,
dude, you are going to create an amazing environment that you're going to enjoy more than what you know.
And then for the walls, thank you for that. We're going with the evergreen fog.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know if you can see that or not.
I can, but my eyes are trained on both of those colors. That evergreen fog was Sherwin-Williams color of the year 2022. So I just did a video on that, or a short on that here recently. You can go watch that on the YouTube channel and on Facebook. But that peppercorn, that is the coolest, like dark gray in the world.
Yes.
I put it on a lot of cabinets, especially. But I was just talking earlier today, I think, about a customer of mine over in the Walnut Creek Estates that was bold enough, like you. She didn't put it on her trim. She just put it on all her doors.
Yeah,
So
we're
all
doing
of
the
her,
doors as well.
it's going to look great. Well, all of her trim is still white, but all of her doors are that peppercorn gray. And just that alone, it creates such an environment in that home that, you know, it gives you as a homeowner something to look forward to when you get home. It actually does help enhance your mood when you are home. And then the other thing that's almost just as important, because we all like friends and family and like to entertain. And it's important that your friends and family experience you, you know, experience your environment and it be unique and different. So for all of those reasons, you're going to enjoy that.
Thank you. Yeah, my wife, she's the one who actually saw the colors, chose the colors, and she had a couple other colors, but and then of course, you know, we discussed, you know, what I thought about the colors, but she had already picked them dead on. Like there was no
Well,
reason to change anything.
Charlie, you have an excellent eye, because if I would have had a conversation with you and you would have explained to me, hey, here's kind of what I'm after, those are very likely the colors I would have showed you. Yeah.
I'll be sure to let her know. She's outside smoking right now.
That's all right.
But
all right. Well, let's go ahead and get into the primer and the paint that you bought. What is the primer? And do you want to kind of start or preface this yourself with, you know, the options that you had and then what you chose?
Okay, so this is the primer we went with which is what you recommended per our needs, which is the Luxon concrete masonry primer.
That's it.
And we got it at Sherman & Williams. Pretty good deal. With the primer and the paint, a gallon each, plus the two pill and sticks. It was a little over $160. That was with my military discount. Excellent. But still, 1 gallon is going to.
Sherwin-Williams for extending that discount to the military, and thank you, Gary, for your service. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your support. So we went with that for the primer, where we're super excited to get started on this project. And with the finished paint, we went with the oil-based, again, per your recommendation for the longevity of the color. We went with a satin white.
And what is the name of the paint? Did you get super paint, or what paint did you get?
We got, it's Sherman & Williams Pro Classic.
Oh, yeah. Yep. That's it. That's what I would have bought. You have other options, but that is the best oil-based enamel paint for interior. That's, to put it into perspective, that's what I use. I use that Pro Classic on all my trim woods, doors, cabinets, everything.
Well, we're super excited. And then also per your suggestion, we got them to add in an additional 2 ounces on top of the oil-based paint for a better longevity cover and appeal per your recommendation.
That is correct. I want to take just a second to say thank you for, mentioning that. And I apologize to Sherwin-Williams, but it was Sherwin-Williams' very own store manager who confirmed with me 15 years ago that, it actually does help it cover, and it does help it give it a better overall finish. And so I can tell you that after 15 years, I was doing it before that, but not regularly. I was doing it only when I had to, like if I was covering over a really yellow trim or something like that. And I can tell you by experience, and then also by Timber, who was with Sherwin-Williams for a long time, that is the most professional way to do it. And that's what most professionals do. The reason why it more than anything else is because there's so little tint in that pure white or any white that you buy from any paint store that it just doesn't cover. So you're going to end up painting 2 coats in almost all cases for proper coverage, for a good coverage. But you put that extra white, even if it's just 1 ounce, but 2 ounces, it's going to cover. It's going to give you a nice finish. It's the way to do it.
We're excited. We are super excited. We got our primer, we got our paint. Now we just got to get started.
Yep. As far as prep surface goes, you know, you're using a good primer, and like I use that primer on exteriors. I can show you houses that I have videos of that I painted the entire brick exterior with that primer. So, of course, I power wash those first and clean them. But yeah, don't feel like you have to scrub down your brick. Just sweep it off or blow it off, vacuum it off. You're good.
Okay, that's good to know. And that's good to know.
Now, if you have oil stains there or something like that, you know, smoke stains from the fireplace, something like that, you might want to clean that a little better.
Yeah, there's a little bit where the vent you know, comes out on the top of the fireplace, but it's not too blackened.
Yeah, just take any kind of brush or one of those dish scrubbers and just hit it real quick. That's all. You're just kind of knocking off the surface.
Okay, excellent.
All right.
Yeah, that's pretty much that's it. That's all we got going.
Well, I have a question about your mantle. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to paint it? Are you going to stain it?
So we're looking to get it to the staining to this color as best as we can find.
A natural stain?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's not very blonde. It's not a blonde stain, but it's a little bit darker than that. But we're gonna try to get it as close to that as possible, as well as the floating shelves that I'm gonna be also installing.
Is that wood, just a pine? It almost looks like a.
Yeah, I think it's pine. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, I'm not either, to be honest. I am not the best wood identifying person, but
it's either pine or poplar. It's one or the other.
Yeah, it's a white wood. It's not a dark wood to begin with. It has to be to take that stain that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be easy. Just it's a natural stain. They call it different things, like you said, a blonde and things, but it's just a natural stain. It'll be easy to stain. It'll look good. And I'm assuming that you have that stain color on furniture and maybe even cabinets in the home or in that living space.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, do you have any other questions that I can answer for you before I let you go? Here's a picture of someone using that Lox-On primer on the exterior.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I do have a question. How long do we need to wait after applying the primer before we can actually put the top coat of paint on top of it?
Excellent. Yeah, that's an excellent question. Normally, that answer would be just 24 hours, right? But because it's brick and you're gonna, you know, you have all the gaps where the mortar is, and you're gonna put that primer in there as thick as you can, basically. You know, you're not gonna pour it in, but you know, it has to go in there thick. Right. And so because of that, you're gonna have to wait 48 hours.
Okay, so 2 days before we actually paint it.
Yeah.
Okay, now what about the tools? Not tools, but materials. Would you prefer? I mean, would you recommend a brush on or a roll on?
Combination. I can actually get it all with a roller primarily, except for the edges. So you're ultimately going to have to use a brush. But you know, sometimes I just kind of get focused and want to get something knocked out, so I'll brush the whole thing. But you can save a lot of time if you use one of those 4-inch finger rollers. Did you happen to pick one of those up while you're there? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no, yeah, I know what you're talking about. No, I didn't pick up any from Sherman and Williams. I'll get those from either Home Depot or Walmart, where they're a bit cheaper.
Walmart maybe. Yeah. I don't know that Home Depot or Lowe's is going to be a lot cheaper though. And here's the other thing is I didn't mention to you yesterday about using my account. One of the reasons why is because Sherwin-Williams doesn't give me that steep of that good of prices. You would think that they would, but they don't. And yeah, it's kind of funny. And so, with your military discount, any specials they might be running or discount like coupons they have, a lot of times you can actually get it cheaper than what my price would be. But I can assure you that if you use my account at Sherwin-Williams on things like rollers and even the roller handle, it's going to cost quite a bit less than Home Depot or Lowe's, maybe about the same as Walmart. I don't know.
Okay.
So that finger roller, it's a 4-inch finger roller, and you want to get a thick nap. Don't get a 3/8, a half-inch. That's what you're after, I guess.
Okay, 3/8 to a half-inch.
No, don't get the 3/8. The 3/8 is thinner than the half-inch.
Right.
Where's Robert at when I need him? But so yeah, you want the thicker roller because you're putting it on brick, you're putting it on thick. If you were putting it on your walls, you'd use the 3/8 because you don't have, it's different texture.
Okay, so we're looking for a half-inch or greater matting.
Yep.
As far as roller. Okay.
And then on the paintbrush, do you have a paintbrush? What are you doing for a paintbrush?
I'm just gonna go get some like 4-inch cut-ins. Either 4 or 5-inch cut-ins, just
Okay. Well, really, you only need one, so you don't, for this, you only need one paintbrush, and this is one of the things in the paint world is like I give you another example that a lot of people they'll get a roller when they're painting their walls, and they see that 3-pack at Home Depot for $10, like, oh, I get 3 of them. Those 3 rollers aren't going to do you a bit of good. You need a roller that actually holds the paint on the roller, So in that case, we use a lamb's wool roller cover because that lamb's wool, it holds the largest amount of paint on the roller without it dripping off when you put it on the wall or go from your paint bucket to the wall. So
okay.
It relates though with a paintbrush. A paintbrush is very important. Kelly Moore has the best name brand paintbrushes. Probably pick a professional quality paintbrush up there for $10. Sherwin-Williams, $15. So it's not that big of a difference. But I do recommend getting a good 3.5 inch Purdy or equivalent. Purdy is a brand, Purdy, and that will save you a lot of time and headache just because that Purdy brush or the equivalent, it holds a larger amount of paint without it dripping off when you're going between your paint bucket and to the wall. And then the other thing is paint disbursement. When you're brushing it on, you want it to actually brush the paint like it's supposed to. The brush actually does the work. You're just holding it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so people don't think about that. And that's where sharing my expertise comes in. It'll save you a lot of headache. Otherwise, you'll be cursing, man.
Well, I don't want to curse.
Well, you already know you're going to anyway, at least once or twice. But we're going to save you some of those. That's for sure.
Yes.
And a lot of that is by using a finger roller also. That's why I say, especially for someone who's not as experienced, just use a finger roller and plan on putting it on thick. You have to roll quite a bit. You're going to have to go over each, surface area that you're painting 3 or 4 to 10 times until you see it's covered. And then even after that, like after the first day, you might see some areas where you need to go back and put a little bit more primer. But I think you're going to be all right, man. Trying to think of if there's anything else I can share with you.
Let's see. We covered the type of primer, type of paint, the prep times in between the two. You gave me some extra pointers on future projects with our walls. So thanks for that. Still going to be getting back with you when we're ready to move on to that project for sure.
Make sure you cover your floors.
Oh
You
yes.
don't have to have a tape machine or anything, but you can take paper or plastic and shove it up near the fireplace, and then take tape that down that way. But that will save you headaches. And then one of the other, truest keys in the professional house painting industry for messes is have rags handy. Clean as you go. It's very key. Clean as you go, because that one little drop that you think, oh, I'll get that. Well, then you step in it, and then you spin around and swing your brush another direction and make another drop. So if you just have
That'll
a
be me.
rag, yeah, me too. Even as a professional, that's what I'm saying. And so having a rag handy to just clean as you go,
That's the ticket.
Yeah. About the only other thing I can say for more the viewers than anything else, back to that white and adding tint to the white, is one of the misnomers is that if you just buy white right off of the shelf, that's the best way to go. Get you the best white that way, and that's a misnomer. The paint that's on the shelf is designed from the manufacturer to have tint added to it.
Interesting.
Hey, do you want to watch this video real quick before we say goodbye?
Yeah.
Just a little bit of it. It's this house that I painted over here in Mansfield in the Walnut Creek Estates. It's a beautiful home. Watching another Painters YouTube video. This one featuring the most beautiful home in the Walnut Creek Estates Mansfield Country Club neighborhood. I don't know. Show me wrong. This is beautiful. This house used to be a pink brick home, with a light color on all the wood.
Pink brick.
And it just
Wow.
you didn't see it. See how big this house is? You couldn't even see it there, bro. On Doral and Danbury, and you just wouldn't even see this house. Now this house is the best looking house in this entire neighborhood. So thank you. Yeah, man. It was pink brick. You couldn't even see the house, right? And the customer hired me to paint the inside. So we painted the whole inside. And while I was there, I pointed out to him that, I'm not really a salesman. I just have a vision that makes sense, And so I was showing him that you can't see this house. It's a beautiful home, as you saw there, but with pink brick and a light tan on all the wood, you just couldn't see it. And it's right on the corner in this beautiful neighborhood with all these beautiful houses. And so I told him, if there was ever a case to paint the brick on a house, this is it. You're going to pay me, I don't know, 15,000 or something is what I charge. But you're going to be able to, the value of this home will increase 30,000 just by painting it where people can see it, if not more. And so it took a couple of years, but he did hire me to prime it and paint it like that. And I've talked to him since then. He has sold that home. He was like, you won't believe it. I sold it for like $100,000 more than what I thought I was going to get for it. I said it was the freaking paint job. He says, I know. Thank you.
Well, I mean, you know what you're doing. You know what you're talking about. The proof is in the pudding.
Thank you very much. Well, cousin, it's good to see you, cousin. I always call you cuz, man. Nephew, it's good to see you.
Good to see you too, Unc.
I love you most. Got you.
I love most back.
I miss you a bunch, and I hope you and your family had a Merry Christmas. Y'all have a wonderful New Year, and stay in touch, if for nothing else, to update me on your paint projects there, okay?
Definitely will.
All right, brother. Thank you very much.
You have a blessed day.
I'm going to. Thank you.
Absolutely. Bye.
All right, everybody. We're about to wrap this up. I'm going to play one song to end the show. Very, very thankful to Gary Blankenship, my nephew. I love these guys. I love this family. I miss them. Like I've stayed so busy. Basically, as a musician, I dedicated my life to making music. That was my little red Corvette. But I saw Gary a lot during the beginning of that process, and we had a great time for a while. I mean, really, we spent almost like a whole year together, practically every day, like best friends. And it's some of the most cherished part of my life. And so I miss Gary and his entire family. I'm not going to go through the names. It's not important to anybody viewing. Just important to say that I miss all of you guys so much. So it's really a thrill to spend just that kind of time together. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. But first, I'm going to tell everybody thank you very much for being here. Remember, always like and share this video. If you want to go the extra mile and really help me personally, Rick E. Warden, build this Christian Painters YouTube channel, please, the best thing you can do for free, doesn't cost you anything but a little time, is go subscribe to my YouTube channel. While you're there, hit notify all. Of course, you're going to get notified through YouTube. If you don't want it, just turn off your notifications or just ignore it. But know that it helps me a bunch. The more people that subscribe, the more YouTube will feature my videos. I am in regular contact with YouTube. They are very good with us creators, and they agree. My YouTube channel is unique. There's no other YouTube channel in the world that has over 2,000 videos of an actual paint company painting the houses. Not like, you know, just a video of a painted house. No, we've got 10 videos or more of every one of our jobs. You can see from power washing to the completed end. And there's not another channel in the entire world on YouTube that is like mine. In the last 5 years, there's been a whole bunch of content creators making a ton of videos that are popular, but these are content creators, people that have never painted a house. They're just using their ingenuity and wherewithal to put together information and present it to people with nice graphics, and, you know, it works. So God bless them, but this channel is still absolutely unique and the only one in the entire world that has over 2,000 videos of my jobs. And then not only that, I'm one of the only people that is a professional painter who is also doing live stream videos. The vision that I have is to bring on people like my nephew Gary. So if you're one of my friends, one of my family members, please help me out. Come on, show me your home, and let's get this party started. Because the idea is I am making myself available to the general public, whether you're in California or New York, to help you with my lifetime of experience, to help you answer all your questions about your repairs that are paint related, to help you pick colors, color consultations, and give you a free estimate. Again, even if you're in California or New York, I can still tell you what I would charge to paint your home if you're here in Mansfield. But most importantly, with the free estimates and color consultations, is that if you're here in my service area, I do need your business. I take care of my grandson here. I've got his beautiful picture. There's our Christmas picture, the realest of the real and the fakest of the fake right there. And so this is what I do with my life. My number one focus is that 4.5-year-old amazing child. He is the highlight of my life, and I do need your business. So right now I'm actually scheduling for next Monday. If you are ready to have your house painted inside or outside, give me a call today. I'll get you a free estimate today, and we'll get you scheduled, and I'll be able to provide much better for that amazing boy with that beautiful smile right there. But don't worry about any of that. If you're watching, please just go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. That alone will help me so much. I want to thank everybody watching on Facebook. We got a few people watching on Facebook. Doesn't look like anybody is watching on Twitter. We are on Twitter or X and YouTube. So this video and all of these live stream videos are through StreamYard, and they are being broadcast to YouTube primarily, Facebook, and X. I might upgrade my account when I can afford it so that I can also broadcast to Instagram and a couple of other social medias where I do have accounts, but they're not all that active. I mean, my Instagram account is active, so if you're over there, come say hi. I do post over there as well. And that's it. Thank you very much for being here. I try to do these live streams as often as possible. And just know that any business owners, like earlier today, we had an air conditioning company out of Arlington, Texas, in the chats. I'd love to have them on the panel. But I am actively in pursuit of a co-host, if you will. As a matter of fact, when I get done here, I'm going to downtown historic Mansfield, and I'm going to target some people that I have in mind that I think would be great to network with and great for this live stream. So I am actively pursuing a co-host that will join me at least once a week or a couple of times a week for a short video where primarily we present colors and trending fashionable colors, and then talk about them and also make ourselves available to answer, in my case, questions about free estimates for house painting, color consultations, and repairs related to paint, staining, sheetrock repairs, texture, wallpaper removal, all that stuff like we talked about today. And we will talk about that more when Gary gets around to that. Something tells me it's going to be a minute, but it'll happen. And so it doesn't matter what business you have. If you have a business and you see the value here, then you would also be making yourself available for your services to answer questions for free about things that are related to your line of business. And we would just both do that together here. And whereas I am very powerful as one, we multiply that power by hundreds or thousands with two. All right, so let's do it. If you want to, you see the value, let's go. I'm ready. Just contact me. I will be doing another live stream, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, maybe both. Just until I'm working, I'm going to be live streaming. I've got a bunch of colors. Like I've got all the different families of colors that have a color of the year for 2024 and a color palette of the year for 2024. So please do look forward to joining me on all our live streams here. I want to give a special shout out and thanks to X610 Chill. This is my buddy David Jarvis. Anybody who wants to enjoy some of this music, that's Dave's Boutique playing behind me in the background. Earlier today, I played a song called Dogmata, which is really moody, beautiful. It's just ambient music, most of it. But he also has some good rock and roll and a lot of different music. David is one of the most productive musicians that I have ever known. And this is his band, X610 Chill. And this is his song. We're going to end the show with this. It's called Oak Hollow.